Hey gamers, welcome back to the Guides. I did a video about a week or so ago. It did pretty well. Got quite a bit of attention. It was called The Truth About Star Citizens. You guys can check that out in that tab if you've not seen that. It's gaining some traction, and I think it's just because a lot of the citizens in the Star Citizen community want to see what it is that I have to say about them. Now, I didn't go crazy wild. I just basically spouted off some truth, saying that, you know, sometimes the loudest members really aren't the ones that we should listen to. But in our society, it tends to be that the most dominant, loud voices are the ones that are heard the most. You can see that pretty much by anything that you're watching in the news. The biggest wow factor tends to get the most views, the most hits. I'm not operating off of that. I just want to get some messages out there on videos that really I don't think are out there right now. I don't think these Star Citizen videos are topics that are being discussed. I think they're important for our community. And today I want to talk about the truth about the game. After I talk about the community, I just kind of started thinking, well, what about the game? Let's talk about like the people behind it and, you know, the things being said right now. I want to dispel a lot of the like naysayers and the doubters right now. So if you're one of them, feel free, step up to me. I love the debate. Keep it respectful. I'm not in the mood to yell. I'm not here to like get in a serious argument with you guys. It's the internet, you know. I'm here for you guys to talk to, and hopefully you guys enjoy what it is that I'm spouting off. First thing, I kind of want to get over with this whole like frustration cycle, as I call it, and that's anybody. I mean, like, I realize this game 5 years, five years, and people are like, oh, we're talking about time, right? So you have backers that have started from the very beginning, and some have kind of just, the stamina isn't there anymore, and for whatever reason they're frustrated because they spent like a lot of money in the game, and it's understandable that these people are a little bit upset because the game isn't finished. But this is a game that is never going to be finished. Now, when I say that, let me just tell you that I'm actually talking about the development of this game will never stop, and that's a good thing. You know, like a lot of games, the old way of thinking about games is that they're designed and then they're pumped out, they're finished, and that's it, that's done. Now, this isn't the way that this game is designed to be, and I like that. And for people that are saying that the game is never going to be finished, you're right. But that's a good thing. And if you're waiting for this finalized, released version, okay, guess what? It's going to be developed after it's finalized. Now, I'm sure this will go on for years and years to come. This is the type of game you got yourself into. Maybe it wasn't presented correctly. Maybe SIG should just do a video that presents the game and says, listen, this is like an investment of your soul, sign in blood, because it's going to take some time. It's just going to take time. This is a game really that is not like any other games. It's a revolutionary game. There has been no game where it's seamless, and this is the first game where it's really seamless. I'm sure there's a few you guys can, you know, debate on about, but the scope of this game is just ridiculously large, and for somebody to have to come in and design this, you know, all these people that are coming in to design this is not fake. You know, the money that it takes to do this is more than 140 million, which they have collected now, and some people go, well, that's ridiculous. Come on now, 140 million. Are you kidding me? They can't get this game done now. Well, yeah, they can't get it done now. You're either believing in the people that that you've invested in or not. It's like the real world. When you invest in a stock, you invest in the company because you either believe in it or you're just trying to make a quick buck. And you know what? Maybe the people that are frustrated are just trying to make that quick buck on the game and get the, you know, they just want to play it and have all the juices and the amazing rush of adrenaline and the eye candy and everything. They want it right now. Well, that's just not the way that this game is. This is a long-term investment. This is a long-term play. You're investing in Coke. You're investing in Pepsi. You're investing in like companies that have been around for quite a while. This is that type of company. It's a blue chip stock. It's a company that cares. I mean, you can't tell me that the game's not going to be finished when you have so many people back behind it. It would be the largest failure in probably modern. Well, no, that's not true, but it would be a very large failure. And I understand people can come up to me and say, well, what about Enron? You know, that was a huge company. It was, you know, and it fell flat. It wasn't even a real company. Or you can come to me and tell me about, you know, number of companies that have, you know, presented something that was completely false and lied to people. But this is, you're talking about a man like Chris Roberts that has a history in game development. He understands the industry. This isn't like somebody just stepping in, not understanding or realizing the magnitude of the promises that he has put out. You know, as the type of person that Chris is, he's a very domineering, kind of dominant guy. Like, I've watched a lot of videos where some people say, wow, he kind of rules with an iron fist, and there's not a lot of democracy when it comes to the design within the company. And, you know, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I know that those types of people generally get things done, and that's a good thing. That type of leadership, really, down to the pixel. I mean, I actually saw an interview where one of the designers that he had employed in the early 2000s had said, Chris pointed at a pixel and wanted one of the green pixels turned blue. Like the pixels. That's how much of a perfectionist Chris is. And the perfectionist might be scaring people and thinking that the perfectionist is going to basically delay and delay and delay and delay and delay and delay. I get it. Don't be an investor, because you're not going to be happy unless you have that rush right away. And if you're that type of person, stay away from the game. I've seen how far it's come in 2 years. I've been in this for 2 years. That's my history. If I had been this in 3 or 4, I can't tell you that I think anything different about it, because I understand the nature of the game. And the people that come to the game is in the video that we talked about, you know, last. My only fear about the people that are coming into the game is that tends to be this elitist, and this happens a lot in sci-fi games. I notice this happens quite a bit in sci-fi games, that you have like kind of an elitist attitude. And I don't know if it's because of there's a lot of people that have, you know, put the money that they have in the game or the time to research it. And let me tell you something, as somebody who creates Star Citizen content, you got to know your stuff, or there's no sense in making the videos. I've spent a lot of time, but there's many people out there who have even done more, and not even on the content side, on the player side. I respect people like that do that, but what I don't respect is when they put it back in your face, and the kind of snide, elitist attitudes really tend to take people like that have these dreams of what this game's going to be, and then come to this game, and it turns people off, and it does not help the growth. It does not help the community, and it doesn't help the people who are trying to make this game a reality. The PU is becoming more enriching of an experience, bringing in gamers from our own community, having a good time, and just think of how far that the game has come since I've invested in it. Is mind-blowing. The rendering of the characters, the movement of the characters, the interactions between the characters and the ships, the ability to actually have multi-crew, the Star Marine introduction of FPS and testing of it. There's so many advancements that have happened since I have played this game that for me to go back to the original truth about Star Citizen, where people are worried that this game is not going to come out, it will come out. And I don't even feel like it's a legitimate thing to start talking about this at this length, you know, because I think about the people that are really saying this are those loudest people. They're the people that really don't give a damn, and they want that rush right away. And so, like, maybe I'm doing a disservice by continuing to talk about this. I want to talk about the people and their commitment within SIG right now. You know, every time you see new information posted on the Star Citizen YouTube site, you can see the progression just on the Star Citizen YouTube channel and the amount of content that they are producing for people. You have to take it seriously. These are real people, real jobs, real information that they are giving us. The truth about Star Citizen is that it is a game, and that it will come out. And if you are one of the people that are listening to the chatter about, oh, this is a piece of crap game, you can't even do this, or you can't even do that, or all the negative shit that I hear like over and over again, just squelch it, man. Just mute it, because it's at this point, it is a game. You can't be a gamer and look at this and say that it's not a game. You're not a gamer. Like, and you know what? This is such a new way to fund a game. And there's so much money and emotion tied into it that it's not unreasonable to think that there's going to have to be this kind of conflict, this friction, where people get upset about the fact that it's not out yet. What they should really focus on personally, that I think, is just being able to get Squadron 42 out the door. And it doesn't have to be the same as the PU or what Star Citizen portends to be. You know, something that will, because there's always these phases, there's these cycles. If you've noticed, people get hyped. Whoa, this is great. Some new feature of the game is released. And it's like, wow, this is great. And you get hype. So many people just like building up. And then it's like, oh, you mean SIG has to do more work? Of course they do. Of course they do. There's so much work left. I'm not trying to fool you guys into thinking that just because I'm telling you this game is going to be finished, that it's going to be done anytime soon. In past videos, I have told people how long that this game is going to take. And I've been pretty damn close on the schedules of when things are going to be released on all patches. Past 3.0, if you look at my 2016 sitcom video, I kind of lay out the groundwork on what I think and when these things are coming out. And I have been almost 100% correct. And that's because I understand the process of game design. And that's why a lot of my videos, I focus on theory craft. And I focus on things that I think are important, that don't get talked about at all by other content creators. I don't like just to post news, although that I do. But I'd like to talk about this with you because it's fun. It's interesting. You get to sit there and you get to listen to like, oh my God, here's something I haven't heard before. And you can comment, you know, and comment unlike any other of the Star Citizen content videos and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about the development of, planetary landing? Like how far in, and you know, the whole thing, and trading in 3.0, and I'm really into the economy and the industry, and that's going to take a long time to set up. But 3.0 itself is going to be out this year. A lot of people said end of June. SIG has stated that. There's some rumors that there might be some hiccups. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because in this type of scenario, you have to be patient for this game. In the meantime, you know, learn the mechanics of the game. Get people involved. Get people interested. Do something positive for the community. Bring people in. Teach them how to fly. There's so many intricacies even now within the flight panels. If you're a co-pilot, if you're a turret gunner, and you're trying to like help SIG make a better turret gunning mechanic scenario, because they need it. But there's a lot of points in this game where you guys can put your input in and help, and that's what our community does. I like to have a community that is very active and vocal in theory crafting, with survival, with economy. We're talking about owning your own shops like brick and mortars. You know, like we're talking about things that don't get talked about. The truth about this game is it is in the design phase. That is the truth about this game, and it will continue to be in the design phase even after it is finalized. There's your truth. And that's the way that this game is, and I like the fact that the game is built this way. I like that it is going to continually be designed upon. When the framework and the skeleton is actually put there in the nervous system, and you've got all these different systems on top of each other, and they are functioning, and you can actually put quote-unquote finalized Star Citizen out on the market, what's going to end up happening is it's still going to be in the design phase. And I want that in a game, because it means it's always going to be updated. It's always going to be looked at for glitches. It's always going to be looked at for bugs. It's always going to continue to be upgraded. It's got a team behind it. Is it going to be as big? We talked about that earlier in this video. I think they'll cut some staff. I think they'll cut some designers. I think they'll cut some testers. I think it'll be cut down. It has to be. It can't just continue to be this juggernaut unless they're going to actually do the same thing with different types of games, and they're just going to keep publishing it. But I think this is it for Chris. This is it. This is the one thing he's always wanted. This is his dream. That is the truth about Star Citizen. This is his dream. More truth. And when you have a man who's this dedicated and focused and a leader, and this is his dream, he will get it done at the expense of everything. Everything. So stand behind it. If you're an investor, stand behind the game and don't always listen to the loudest people. Don't worry about the people that are like screaming stupid shit. Don't worry about it. Because this game is a labor of love. And those people that are invested in it, their hearts are in this game. That is where my subscriber base lives. In the emotional context of the design of the game. It is right there where they live, eat, breathe, and sleep. They are gamers. They are the people that will back this and make it into reality because they, like Chris, believe in this reality. That's all there is. That's all there is. Thank you, gamers. Thank you, citizens. Do your best to bring new people in the game. And if you enjoyed this video, then please throw it a like, give it a share, and think about becoming a Patreon so that we can have bigger and better giveaways and start doing some Star Citizen prizes and having a good time within our community. Don't forget to join our Discord. Always a great time. I think it's probably one of the most friendly, coolest places to chill out with people that I get to meet, and I'm privileged to have the honor of making some of them my friends, getting to know you guys, talking about what is important, which is another reason why I made this video. They said, hey man, why don't you focus on the game itself? Since you focused on the people that play the game on the last video, why don't you focus on the actual game? It's fun. There's so many things to do in it, even now. You just imagine yourself a scenario and you play it out. Alright guys, I will see you on the next vid. You best push subscribe if you're new. You best do it.